So I decided to pick myself up one of the newer SCX24s from Axial. I've got the original SCX24 Bronco, so I wanted to see how the newer one would compare to the original SCX24 chassis. So I had the choice of either picking up the new Power Wagon or the Gladiator. I really like the look of the Power Wagon, especially with the overland rack, so I decided to go for the Power Wagon. So it comes in your usual nice little SCX24 box. You can see for the Power Wagon you can either get in orange or green. Some of the features on this one, it's got worm gears in the front and rear differentials. It's got the new Spectrum electronics, we'll talk about that in a minute. And also now they come with oil-filled shocks, which is what most of the mini crawler guys are doing now. Everybody's kind of realised oil-filled shocks is the way to go. So some of the things you get included in the box, you get your manual, you get some stickers if you want to stick those on there, you get a little wrench and some little spring spacers, and you also get your bind cable. The SCX24 rigs are actually one of the few rigs that actually come 100% ready to run. You actually get AA batteries included in the box, which you need for your transmitter. You also get a 350 milliamp hour 2S LiPo battery. You do get this weird charging cable, so it's like loads of different pieces. You've got like your actual like micro USB cable or whatever you want to call it. Then you've got your kind of USB adapter, and then you've got like another USB adapter as well. So yeah, it comes in like 3 pieces, which just seems a bit excessive if you ask me. And then you get the new Spectrum controller, which I'm not fussed on it, to be honest. I think it's a bit fugly. It's a bit annoying because it doesn't really stand up, because it doesn't really have a stand. It just kind of wobbles around and stuff. But, you know, it's all right in the hand. It's got a foam grip on it. You know, it's easy to use. The only thing that I found with this, and as you see with the running footage, the electronics just don't seem as good as they used to be quite honest. You know, the electronics that came in the original SCX24 seems so much better than these Spectrum electronics. So it almost seems like we've taken a step backwards going to these Spectrum electronics, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't quite know why they've changed these when it's not as nice as what it was originally. But anyway, that's your controller that comes with it. One thing to note with this radio gear as well is there's no third channel, whereas on the old radio gear, on the original SCX24, you did have a third channel. So for things like when you were thinking about swapping to like a 2-speed and stuff like that, you could actually use your original electronics to control your 2-speed on your third channel, but obviously now you can't do that because all you've got is this 2 channels. Now, as for the actual Power Wagon itself, I think it's a really nice looking rig. I mean, one of the main reasons I went for this one, because I just think it looks really, really cool. Like I said, I love the fact that you get the overland rack on there that you can fit. You know, it has got an interior in there with a driver, got your mirrors on the side and everything as well. You know, I just think it looks a really cool looking rig. Underneath, it's like a longer wheelbase than, say, the Bronco. This is more similar to the Gladiator wheelbase. So you've got 4 link on the front, you've got a 4 link on the rear. It's all plastic and plastic drive shafts. It's still straight axles, no portals on the front or the rear. To get your body off, it's still Velcro. So you basically just pull up on the Velcro and then your body swings off. Okay. And then you can get to all the electrics underneath. So you can see you've got that 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. You've still got the same kind of tiny little 030 size motor. You've got LED lights on the front, which I'll show you in a moment, and you've got an Axial mounted steering servo. Now, I do really like the fact that it's got oil-filled shocks, and they are really nice oil-filled shocks. You know, I really like that movement. It is really, really nice. So that's the one thing I do like about it, is the oil-filled shocks. But yeah, the electronics, to be honest, you know, I've already ran it. I've ran it on the rocks. I've ran it on the mud. I had high expectations for it with these tyres and with the electronics. But I've got to be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. Tyres, I don't know what the hype is about. You know, people have been telling me to get Proline tyres for ages. I thought, yes, this thing comes with Proline tyres. I can finally try them out. And they were rubbish, to be quite honest. I was running on the rocks and I was like, I don't get what all the hype is about. You know, they were all right on the trail, but on the rocks, they weren't that great. And I mean, they weren't amazing on the trail or anything. You know, I certainly wouldn't go off and buy a set or anything like that. So yeah, I wasn't impressed with the tyres, to be honest. Stock slow speed control on the Spectrum electronics is just awful. It reminds me of the TRX 4M. So you can see we've got LED lights. So steering servo is actually really good. It seems to have loads of power in the steering servo. It's nice and responsive. You know, no issues with the steering servo at all. That's actually really powerful. Yeah, the slow speed control is just, you know, pretty much non-existent. It's just, you know, I mean, if you can see that, that's me on the throttle trigger. And then finally we're up and over, then we're stuck again. More throttle. Yeah, it's just not very good, to be honest. So first up, just a little hill climb. Most things normally get stuck on the ridge, so let's just see how this does. Yeah, it's definitely struggling there. I'm probably going to need some wheel speed if this thing's got any. Let's come back and try again, bit of wheel speed. Right. Okay, yeah, so it's a bit top heavy. Let's try that again, see if we can get up there. Okay, made it. See what it makes it through here like. Okay, our slow speed control is almost non-existent. Oh, I'm not liking these, well, it must be the electronics. My original SCX24 had really nice slow speed control. This is just a bit horrible. You know, I'm liking the oil-filled shocks, but oh man, this speed control on this transmitter is horrible. I'm not liking that at all. Come on, do something. Oh my god, this reminds me of the TRX4M out of the box, just a bit frustrating. Looks cool with the lights on the wall though. Let's see if these stock tyres can get it up the stairway. Be interesting to see what they're like and what our slow speed control's like, which doesn't seem so good. Look at that, it just keeps stopping. Come on. Try again. I thought these tyres were going to be way better, but they're a bit underwhelming, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, you know, it's a bit of a struggle getting up the stairway, but I was hoping those tyres would be really, really good. Okay, let's see what it comes up like through here, and then all the way up onto those rocks up there. Should be, you know, pretty easy stuff, to be honest. If we actually had some slow speed control. That, literally, that. That's me on the throttle, look. I'm on the throttle. No movement. Now, if you keep watching, bit more throttle. Now it'll move. Yeah, that's not very good. Oh my, no, this thing's annoying. Drive. Okay, we're getting up there, we're getting up there. Come on. See if we can get up these rocks. Oh, that is, try to do wheelies. It hasn't tipped over though. I do not know how that was not falling over then. Go on, see if we can get up here. Okay, we made it eventually. I'm not sure it's going to get up this rock. I was going to add in some of my new obstacles. I'm glad I didn't now, to be honest. Unless, oh, that slow speed control is rubbish. Ugh. Okay. Do you know what? This is a bit rubbish, isn't it? If this thing can go up these rocks, it should be a fairly easy obstacle for something with fairly decent tyres. These tyres just aren't very good, are they? I'm amazed. Like, I thought they'd be brilliant. I was like ready to be like, oh, these tyres are awesome, but they're not. Pretty much useless, isn't it? Oh dear. It's going well, this. Okay, we're out on the trail with the SCX24 Power Wagon. See if it does any better on the trail than it did on the rocks. It does look really cool, like I said earlier. I do really like the look of it. Yeah, just be interesting to see if it's better on the trail than it is on the rocks, because so far it's been a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's quite slow. Obviously, it's only got a tiny little motor in it, but it's not the quickest thing in the world. Let's do our usual kind of tyre test to see if it can do a little incline, a little bit of loose kind of dirt and sand right next to the stream. So obviously, if you stuff it up, you end up in the stream. They actually did much better on that than I thought they were going to do. Let's try out our usual route obstacle, see if we can get over here. Obviously it doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, this one, and obviously quite short shocks, so it'd be interesting to see how it does over these routes. You can see it's really struggling even just to get over that first route. Obviously, you know, it's not got a massive amount of ground clearance, but you know, the tyres they're struggling to bite there on that first route. Try and get a little hop. I think this might be the first little mini crawler to actually fail on the first route. Hey, we got it back. Okay. I'm not holding my hopes out for the second route. Bit of wheel speed again, maybe. Not that this has a lot of wheel speed. Oh, almost. Yeah, you can see it's getting hung up, but it just doesn't have a lot of go in that motor, does it? Being so small. Well, we might actually have to mitt the feet on this one. This is where that 2-speed would help, you know, if it had a 2-speed, get that extra wheel speed, hop it over. Oh, we finally did it. Just needed the right angle and a nice run up. Okay, fair dues, it did it in the end. Real struggle to actually crawl with this thing, because like you try to do like slow speed control, as soon as you come up an obstacle it's just stuck, and then you got to give it more throttle, and so yeah, it kind of spoils the experience in a way. I think in some ways the slow speed control on this is almost worse than the TRX4M. Maybe it's just my memory, I haven't used it in so long stock without the low range gears, but yeah, this thing is just rubbish slow speed control. Let's just see how these tyres get through the mud, shall we? So yeah, I think it's definitely better on the trail than it is on the rocks. I mean, it's still not amazing on the trail, but definitely better on the trail than the rocks. The tyres, you know, were better on the trail. I mean, on the rocks, I thought they were pretty much useless, to be honest. And even on the trail, you know, they're not the best, but you know, they're decent enough, I suppose. I mean, considering they're meant to be like pro lines, I was expecting massive things and thinking, oh, these tyres are gonna be amazing on a race to run. But yeah, a bit of a disappointment, to be honest, a bit of a letdown. You know, for me, the stock electronics are rubbish. Slow speed control is awful. It's really hard to actually crawl it at a nice low speed. I do like the oil-filled shocks, although it's a shame they're so short. And I like the size of the tyres, and I love the look. I mean, that's the thing that you know, made me buy this rig, to be honest, was that look with the overland rack. I just think this thing just looks awesome. I think if I had to buy this again versus some of the other brands, I wouldn't bother wasting my money, to be honest. You know, I think the TRX4M is better, I think the FCX24 is better, the FCX18 is better. You know, even the Hobby Plus I think is potentially better than this. You know, at least that's got better slow speed control. Drop us a comment if you've got any questions. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.